Hello everyone. Today I will be telling you how to prompt an agent in Vapi. So, for example, I'm going to my agent called this, and here we have our tools. Okay, these are the tools that we are mentioning in our agent. I will tell you guys in another video in how to you can make tools on Vapi and knowledge base everything. So, for example, the most important part is the role. Okay, you have to identify what's the role of your agent and the name of the agent, its personality, its tone, and who is it working for. Okay, first you have to mention that. Then you have to mention the system context. For example, which language it is speaking, what's the current date and time, and also, there is a dynamic variable here involved, which is this. It's Webby's own dynamic variable in which you can identify, in which you can tell the current date and time of. Uh, you can give the current date and time to the agent. For example, if you want to give a current date and time of a specific region to the agent, for example, if you're building for a foreign client and you want to specify date and time for a specific region, you can add this dynamic variable. You can check their documentation and you can see their uh, you can see how to set it up, how to write a dynamic variable. Okay, coming back to this, then what's the important thing? You have to write the speaking style and how to speak. That we don't want to talk for too long, keep talking and talking. We don't want it to yap. We want only short sentences, one question at a time. We want it to use contraction. It all depends on your use case. Okay. Then the most important part is the flow. Writing the flow is the most important part. And for what I recommend is that first write a flow diagram of your prompt. So if you can, I hope you can see this, but let me open Paint to show you guys. Uh, I hope you can see my screen. So the most important part is writing a flow. For example, this is our flow. Okay, and when you're writing a prompt, there will be some statement instead. Depending on the user response, you have to go to either this step or this step. Okay, so this is the most important part. So for example, if this is a step one in which I am greeting it. So here I have written if they are an existing client, go to flow A. And if they are a new client, just move to this next, go to flow B. Take it, go to step B. Okay, so here we are identifying the client, and in step one we are asking the question in who they are and do they know us, and if they if they do know us and they are a client, we will go to flow A, which is a support. Okay, and if they are a new client, then we are going to flow B. So here is our flow A, and in which we are executing our steps, you know, and some from you know, and if they are a new client, that means we are going to flow B. So basically what it is doing is that when it is executing step 1 and depending on the user response, it is jumping to flow A or jumping to flow B. This is the most important part. And adding these is very useful. It makes it easier for you to understand and for the agent to understand as well. Okay. So, for example, and it goes on, and this is how the whole prompt is going. And when your prompt is ending, uh, always write, step closing. And here you can, do not call end call. We have a tool called end call, and we are telling it that do not call end call without saying goodbye first. There is some issue in WebP in which, it ends the calls very rapidly and, without saying goodbye, just abruptly just hangs up on them. We don't want that. So, you have to specify that as well, you know. And then you can add some other instructions as well, mid-flow interruption, how to stop speaking, do not finish, or time verbalization rule, and these are the tools. In the end, you can mention the tool and the rules when to call this tool and how to enter the data in the tool, etc. And these are the knowledge bases. So this is the main flow. So much easier part to write a prompt is like first write a flow diagram of the prompt. And what I do is I write a flow diagram of the prompt and I send to Claude, and I tell it to add these headings, you know with proper hashtags, and these columns, asterisks and everything. And I tell to Claude to write it for me, and it just writes the prompt for me. And what you can do is that when the Claude writes the prompt for you, you can paste it in Vapi and just test the prompt and test the agent. And if you think there is some missing in it, if it's going to the other step when some instructions aren't strong enough, you can edit it in the system prompt, and there will be just minor changes in the prompt. So it will be just easier for you. So this is the main how to write any prompt in WebP.